What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's Brittany here with another video to help you guys live a happy, healthy, awesome life in a wheelchair. And today we are going to go over some tips, skills, life hacks that I think are super important for being able to travel as a paraplegic. This video is not for somebody who is a quadriplegic with high care needs or equipment needs. This is only for people, if you're a quadriplegic with lower care needs and equipment needs, and you function more like a paraplegic, then absolutely this video is for you. But I'm just talking to somebody who is pretty strong in their upper body, who is independent with their personal care. So with that caveat out of the way, let's get started. I have 5 tips or skills that I think are really important for making travel easier and being able to pack less stuff. So I'll go over them, and then once I tell you all of them, I'll talk about each one individually and show you either the products I use or the skill that I have, and why I think it's important. So starting with number 1, learning to do a bowel program on a regular toilet. Number 2, being able to pee without a bathroom. Number 3, transferring to high beds. Number 4, improvising for showers. And number 5, doing car transfers. So let's start with number 1, learning to do a bowel program learning to do a bowel program on a regular toilet. So like many of you, I learned to do a bowel program on a commode. And even though I went home and I didn't really do my own bowel program because my mom helped me for many years, I still did it on a commode, and travel was really hard. I remember when we did travel sometimes, my mom would rent a commode and have it delivered to the hotel. And sometimes she would just help me on the regular toilet, but it was always really awkward. And it just made travel stressful for us when I was first paralyzed. And for many adults who are paralyzed, their question is like, how do I take all this junk with me when I travel? And the answer is you don't have to if you learn to do your bowel program on a regular toilet. For years I just sat on a regular toilet, like the regular toilet seat. And now I have a product that is more like it's kind of like a cushion that goes on the toilet seat. So I'm going to take you into the bathroom and show you what I use and how it makes travel easier. So let's head into my bathroom. This is just the toilet that I have in my house, and it's a regular height toilet. So I guess I should add to this list of skills is being able to transfer onto a toilet that is a normal height, like not one that is the high toilets. I actually prefer lower toilets because I don't like when my feet are dangling. And yeah, I just think it's important to be able to transfer onto a toilet that is a regular height from the ground. So the thing that I use and that I travel with is these toilet seat cover things, and I apologize, my head's cut off, but I can't show you the toilet without cutting my head off. So they are literally just rubber things that are the same shape as a toilet seat, and they kind of bend. And then they just fit over the edge of the toilet seat, and then you sit on them. So there's 2 of them. I've talked about these in so many videos, and I wish they had like an affiliate link, but they don't. I could make so much money selling these. Okay, so you guys can't see that, but it's hard for me to do it left-handed, so I'm going to try and do it left-handed. So you just kind of hook the one side on, and then you like push it down, and then it like sits on the toilet seat. So you can see that it's underneath underneath the toilet seat. And then the other one, same thing. There. It's kind of awkward sometimes to put them on depending on what angle you're at, but once they're on, they're on. They can't fall off. And you can see that they're kind of holding on to the toilet seat underneath. And it gives you a little bit of, I'll raise that so you guys can see my head. It gives you a little bit of height on the toilet seat and gives you a little bit more room to reach your butt if you're going from the front or if you're going from the back. When I first started doing bowel routine, I learned to go in between my legs in the front. So I would sit really far back on the toilet seat so that I could have like a hole in between my legs to put my arm and reach to my butt. And just as an effort to like reduce bacteria transfer and make it cleaner, I started sitting really far forward on the toilet and doing it from behind and reaching my butt that way. So that's how I do it now. But it's definitely, I think, the number one skill I would suggest you learn if you want to travel anywhere. If you want to travel even just like locally to a friend's house, or, you know, a couple hours to your parents or your siblings or whatever, to spend Christmas, you just need to be able to use a regular toilet without having to haul all the, you know, the commode and all the junk that you need to do bowel routine. So these things are light, they fit in a bag really easily, and they go everywhere with me. So that is number one, learning how to transfer onto a regular toilet, and then being able to do your bowel program on it. Number two is being able to pee or catheterize without a bathroom. Obviously, this is easier for men that are paralyzed because you have your pee hole easily accessible and you're not sitting on it. So you can pee easier without a bathroom as long as you have some privacy. But for women, this is difficult. And my solution to this is one that I learned from my friend Margaret a long time ago. I have lots of videos on this, how I pee, how I find my pee hole and all that stuff. I will link them up here, down there, somewhere. I'll link them in the description maybe. But I have lots of pee videos, and I talk about the zipper that I have in the crotch of my pants. It just goes along the seam. I go to any seamstress, and they put it in there. A 9-inch zipper in the crotch is what I ask for. They never ask any questions or look at me sideways. And then in order to pee, I just scooch my butt to the end of my wheelchair seat or the end of a seat in a car. Even in an airplane, I just scooch my butt to the edge of the seat, let my legs kind of flop open the zipper, and then discreetly catheterize when I need to. Obviously, I need some privacy, just like a guy would need in order to do that, but I've gotten pretty good at being very discreet about peeing, even in places that, not crowded places, but like say on an airplane, if at least one of my family members is sitting beside me, they'll kind of shield me with a backpack so that I can pee, and then they'll just take my pee to the bathroom in a water bottle, or I normally carry a male urinal and I put it in a little purse thingy. And so they'll take that in the purse to the bathroom. So that is skill number two. It has saved me in so many places when I'm traveling, just when I am not anywhere near a bathroom, on road trips, on an airplane, anywhere that it's inconvenient or inaccessible to get to a bathroom. I've been able to pee, and it's really been life-changing for my independence. So that is skill number two. Skill number three, let me see, is being able to transfer to a high bed. So I'm just going to move you guys over a little bit so you can see how high my bed is, and I'll show you how I transfer. Skill number three that you need to learn in order to be able to travel easier is being able to transfer on a bed that is higher than your wheelchair. As you can see, my bed is about 6 inches, maybe 8 inches higher than my wheelchair. This was not necessarily intentional. It was just the way the mattress worked out. And for years I had a bed that was very level with my chair. And whenever I would travel, I didn't have any practice getting onto a high bed. And then I was really scared to transfer, and oftentimes would just not be able to make it on my own. So it was terrifying for me to travel alone because, you know, beds in accessible rooms are often really high. Like it's a afterthought, or they just don't think about it. So they put the regular box spring and mattress and everything just like all the other rooms. And sometimes the bed is like up here and it's really hard to get on. So I suggest that you keep your bed slightly higher than your wheelchair at home so that you get in the habit of using building your strength to learn those transfers. And then when you go to a hotel and it's not an even transfer, it's not so scary. So I'm just going to show you what I do in order to transfer and how easy it is. And I can get on really high beds. And the only thing that's ever scary for me is if the bed is so high that my legs are almost straight, then I'm sort of tipping forward. But I've gotten used to like getting on the bed and then like tipping, like laying backwards so that I don't fall. But before I had a high bed, I didn't get any practice. So here we go. That's it. It's nothing special. I just like, obviously one hand on my wheel, one hand on the bed, and off I go. So learning how to transfer just like this onto a high surface is really invaluable because, like I said, hotel rooms often forget that they need to pay attention to the height of the bed in the accessible room. And if you get there, some of them will modify the bed height. They'll take out the box spring. but it's just a pain in the butt. And if you can't get an accessible room, I never stay in an accessible room because they often only have one bed, one king size bed, and I have a family, so I just get regular rooms. And my transferring skills always come in handy when the bed's high. So that is skill number 3. Skill number 4 is improvising for showers. We already talked about how annoying and cumbersome it is to travel with a commode chair, and it's the same thing for a shower chair. If you have to pack up a shower chair as part of your luggage, it's really annoying. And so it's so much better to just improvise. A lot of the time, especially in the United States, hotels will have shower chairs that you can just request, and always do that if you're going to a hotel, because if they have a shower chair, then obviously it's better to use a shower chair. But if they don't, and you don't have access to a shower chair, there are lots of things that you can use to improvise as a shower chair. So some of the things that I have used as shower chairs are deck or pool chairs or patio chairs. So if I have a hotel room that has a patio and it has like a plastic deck chair, a lot of the times I just bring that inside and put that in the shower and use that. A luggage caddy, which is like a thing that folds out to put your luggage on. It's usually in the closet in a hotel, and it's not the most sturdy thing ever because it's mostly just fabric straps that the luggage sits on, but I've put a towel on it before and sat on it in the shower. Most of the time when I use a luggage caddy, my husband's there so he can kind of help me transfer on. But it's definitely doable as a shower chair if you don't have anything else. I've sat on a cooler in the tub to use as a shower chair. So when I travel with my kids by myself, I usually pack like a cooler of sandwiches and drinks and stuff like that. And it's just a small cooler, like about this big, but it fits right in the tub. It's waterproof. It's plastic, obviously, so it can get wet. And I was able to transfer on that all by myself the last time I went to Montana with my kids. My shower chair solution with the cooler worked pretty good. It was a little hard to balance on there, but I did it. I got in by myself, and I didn't have to traumatize my son with falling and getting him to help me out of the shower because he's the only one here. So yeah, coolers double as shower chairs, I guess. There's lots of different ways that you can improvise. I've sat on the edge, like just on literally the edge of a tub before, where it was like the tile, and just sat there and showered. So it's not always ideal to have to improvise, but it's better for me to just figure out how I'm going to shower when I get there, than to try and carry a shower chair by myself, especially when I'm by myself. Because if I'm traveling with my family or my husband, obviously we can carry more luggage, but when I'm by myself, I don't have that option. So it's always just a figure it out when I get there kind of thing. And every once in a while, if I can't figure out a shower solution, I just wash my hair in the sink. Or I use the pool area. You know how there's like showers in the pool area sometimes? I'll go down there and use the pool area shower and just wash my hair down there. Yeah, so improvising for showers is skill number 4, and that's going to look different for everybody, but just having an open mind and being creative is the best way to do that. The last skill to make traveling easier as a paraplegic is making sure you can do car transfers. So when I was first driving after I was paralyzed, because I was paralyzed at 13, I started driving at 18, I got a wheelchair accessible van, which I do think is a great idea. I don't wreck my shoulders. I still have a wheelchair accessible van where I don't have to lift my chair in and out. But I never actually learned how to do a car transfer when I was first paralyzed because I was younger and my parents just got me in the car. And then I had a wheelchair accessible van. And so then when I got into an accident with that vehicle and I had to have a rental vehicle, I had no idea how to get in a car by myself and put my chair in. And even if you don't want to do that every day and you prefer to have a wheelchair accessible vehicle like me, I highly recommend getting skilled at getting into a vehicle. Not all vehicles are going to be, accessible for you to transfer into. Trucks are pretty hard. But I remember before I learned how to do vehicle transfers and get my wheelchair in independently, traveling and getting from place to place, like the hotel, like the airport to the hotel, that was always a major stress for me because I relied on, accessible taxis, which are few and far between. And if I was calling a regular taxi, I was always terrified that I wasn't going to be able to get in. And it was just, yeah, it was just a lot of unnecessary stress when I could have just learned the skill of getting into a car so that even if I took an Uber or a taxi, I was able to get myself in and the taxi driver could put my wheelchair in the back. And now that I know how to get myself in a vehicle and my wheelchair in the vehicle, I actually just rent cars whenever I travel. And at almost every rental car place, I actually did a video on this, you can get hand controls in SUVs or cars. You can't get like ramp vans or anything with hand controls. You can get ramp vans at some places, but they're usually for transporting somebody in a wheelchair and they don't have hand controls. But you can get hand controls put into lots of vehicles in most rental car places. The two that I've used are Enterprise and Budget, but Alamo, National Car Rental, they all do it. So you can go watch that video if you want to see which car rental places do the hand controls. But now that I know how to get in and out of a vehicle, it's no big deal. Transportation is no big deal when I travel, and I'm not afraid at all. I just rent a car, get myself in, get my wheelchair in. Or I take a taxi. I went to Vancouver by myself to shoot a commercial, and I taxied everywhere there, and all I did was order the taxi, hop in the back, and then the taxi driver put my wheelchair in the trunk or in like the back hatch because they were SUVs, and it was totally fine. I wasn't scared at all. I could get in the vehicle easily, and it was no big deal. So car transfers is the last skill. Just to summarize here, I'll read them all again. Learning to do a bowel program on a regular toilet, being able to pee without a bathroom, transferring to high beds, improvising for showers, and doing car transfers. Those are the skills that I think are most important for making travel easier as a paraplegic and more stress-free and like traveling lighter. You don't have to carry as much junk. And this is mostly for people, this message is for anybody that's paralyzed that, you know, might still be using commodes and all of that stuff, but mostly for people that are newly injured that can just learn these skills right off the bat, because it's so much harder for us that didn't learn these skills and then we had to acquire them over time. And it took me, I didn't even learn how to do a car transfer until I've been in a wheelchair for 25 years, and I probably have known how to do a car transfer for like 7 years. So it took me a very long time to acquire some of these skills. And yeah, now that I have them, I wouldn't be without them. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. If you have any questions about any of these skills, please put them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. If you have any other skills that you think are super important for being able to travel as a paraplegic, throw those in the comments too, because it's always such a great place for other people to learn. When they come to this video, they can learn from everybody and not just me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will catch you back here on another video. Bye.